Hola Sombrero Time teachers, this is Ruth, and we are going to talk about the final week, week 4 of Spanish 1, Unit 7. We only have one more unit, and wow, here we are at the end of the year. It happens so fast. Anyway, this is going to be a big review week because we had a week off with spring break, and we want to come back and really give the kids a holistic experience of the vocabulary. So make sure on Monday you really take the time to kind of get them up, get them standing, go through all the vocabulary, have them acted out, and really emphasize that review. So as you're showing them the word, make sure everybody's looking at the word, they're saying the word, and if they can, they're acting out the word. Really want to be good on that repetition. All right, so your objectives are to get your assessments, you get a pulse on the kids for the month, engage the dialogue and really have the mobilizing language, and then review the vocabulary of this unit in conversational questions. Okay, so day 1, just like what I said, lots of big review, lots of vocabulary. Have them work out the syllables. There will be a dictation on day 4. And have them really talk about their rooms of the house. So in the vocabulary development, you're going to ask them, ¿Dónde está? We're going to practice those location vocabularies. ¿Dónde está tu habitación? Mi habitación está arriba en el segundo piso. You want them to start talking about placement, and that will review rooms of the house. You can talk about placement of los muebles, the furniture of the house, and have them describe it. On the end of that day, you do want to do the assessment of La Scala, and that's on page 79. And what you're going to do with that one is you're going to go ahead. Now, the thing that I want to clarify here, this is not a reading comprehension test. With your young kids that are Spanish 1 in first grade, this is, do they know the vocabulary? So you can go ahead and read the sentence to them and have them draw it. Have them draw it. So you read the sentence so they hear the vocabulary as well as see it, and then they write it. This is to really, did you connect with them on this set of vocabulary? And can they produce icons, illustrations, dibujos that represent what the vocabulary is saying? So I really want to distinguish. This is not a reading test. This is a language test. So we're testing out if they hear and see the language, can they draw what's going on in? Okay? All right. Day 2, we move on. Again, you can do a little bit less of the opening part of the lesson and the calendar. And if you do stick on that, make it all review of the vocabulary that you're sitting on and that you're going to be using. Really hang out on the dialogue. We've got some really fun ideas about how to do that. And feel free in the dialogue. Go to any room of the house. En el baño, ¿qué quieres hacer? En la cocina. En el comedor, quiero comer el desayuno. ¿Qué comes para el desayuno? And then talk about food. I mean, really go for it here. Have fun with this dialogue. The vocabulary development on day 2 is page 81, where you will be doing la habitación. Now, this is going to be talking about placements where they're going to draw things in around the bed. Primero, dibuja una cama roja en el medio de la habitación. Entonces, ellos van a colorearlo rojo. Segundo, debajo de la cama. Okay? So, do they know what that word means? Can they draw the little purple almohada? So, go ahead and do it. Now, remember, this is an assessment. Okay? But then you can have the kids switch books and correct it and see how they did. If you're not comfortable with that, then go ahead and correct it yourself. Or if you have a smaller class, you can correct it yourself. But then give the kids the opportunity to look and see and learn. You can also, once you do this, is go ahead and draw the picture. After they take the assessment, you go ahead and give the instructions and draw the picture. after you've collected the workbooks. So they actually get to see if they did it right or not while you do the corrections. Okay. Day 3, review, calendar. Don't sit long there. Work on the pronunciation. You're practicing sounds and pronunciation, so that's phonics as well. Again, day 3 is when you really want the kids to be presenting the dialogue, because this is the assessment piece. And then page 82 is day 3's assessment. You're doing La Rutina. Again, we're looking at ordinal numbers in the order that you do these different things. We use icons so that the kids are focusing on the verbal language. So this is a verbal comprehension test. We don't give them the written word. Can they hear it? Can they assess the right thing in the order that you're giving it to them verbally? Day 4, there is a slight typo. We're not having them dictate sentences. They're words. This is page 83, so don't get confused there. That's for day 4 of the pronunciation dictation. These are all part of your assessment. Are we making traction with them learning the sounds that go with the symbols? And then at the end with a bang, have fun with some charades, and have them do some fun stuff with that. Have a couple of teams go up. Have them break off in groups of 4 if you have a bunch of classes, and have them see which person can get the most points by acting out. So feel free, like maybe type up the vocabulary that you want and cut it into pieces of paper that you stick in a bag, and then you can have smaller groups, maybe all over the classroom. If you have 30 kids, maybe it's per table group that you play this game, and everybody gets their own points, and it'll be table winners. Things like that. Have fun with it if you have a lot of students. If you don't, keep them together. Have them build out the whole sentence of what the person's acting out to win the points. Don't make this low-hanging fruit for them. Ask them to mobilize full, complete sentences. So, have fun, and welcome back from your spring break, and hope it was a good, relaxing week. Happy Easter to all of you, and hasta luego.